Thanks, Faye. Well, we've got Trevor Sinclair with us, and he's got a pen and paper, so welcome to Wadham Road. Cheltenham is famous for its outsiders. Cheltenham is famous for its long shots that beat the odds, romp up and take the prize when only the very hardened souls have planted a wager on them. But those shocks, those draw-dropping moments that happen in this town usually happen as the thoroughbred horse gallops up the treacherous hill at the world-renowned racecourse down the street from Cheltenham's Johnny Rock Stadium. The superstars around here are usually best mate, Corto Star, album photo, long run. Until today, maybe. This quaint and quiet Gloucestershire town usually only wakes up for the festivals in March and the mini-meeting in December. But the football team are the focus of attention round here for the first time in a while, because Michael Duff's League Two challengers are taking on the might of Manchester City.
21, Ferran Torres. 22,
Cheltenham, who will rely heavily on their long throw from Ben Tozer, sent in a flat trajectory to Will Boyle, will look to upset a Manchester City side that haven't conceded a goal in 5 games. And those two are 2 or 3 centre-halves that will line up in front of 19-year-old Josh Griffiths, who made an unwanted entry into the Guinness World Record books this week when he conceded the longest ever goal. Tom King of Newport County took a goal kick. It sailed over his head after catching the wind and nicking off the pitch. And the 19-year-old was the unwanted entry as the man who let it sail over his head and into the net. He's a good goalkeeper and well thought of, and he's in a team that makes 2 changes from that Newport game. Raglan, Tozer and Boyle make up the back 3. Matty Blair's the right wing-back, got promotion at Doncaster. Lewis Freestone in at left wing-back for Chris Hussey, who's injured. Connor Thomas, big story around him, has been doing the rounds this week. He signed for Liverpool at 17 and then went back to Coventry after getting homesick. Chris Clements partners him in the centre of midfield with Finn Azaz at the top of that midfield 5 in the number 10 position on loan from West Brom. Alfie May and George Lloyd are the 2 strikers. Manchester City have Stefan in goal, Harwood Bellis, Garcia, Laporte and Mendy, Foden, Fernandinho and Tommy Doyle in midfield, and Mahrez, Jesus and Ferran Torres in attack. Still to come this weekend on FA Cup Game Day on TalkSport. We're at Chelsea versus Luton, Brentford versus Leicester, and we've got exclusive commentary of Manchester United versus Liverpool tomorrow. Monday it's Tottenham against Wickham, before we bring you all 10 Premier League matches from across the calendar on Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, and you'll be able to access all of those if you download our app. It's the TalkSport app from the Google Play or the Apple iPhone store. You can download it and then you can choose your matches throughout the course of the week, and you can flick between the coverage from TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Pep Guardiola has picked up a couple of injuries this week to Kevin De Bruyne and Carl Walker, which he hopes doesn't result in them clipping the odd fence in the next few weeks, because his thoroughbreds are very much tuned in and ready to jump the fences and go up the hill and look for a strong finish as they look to try and finish in first place in the Premier League. Stuart Atwell is our referee. It is a little bit chilly, and because of a delay to the kick-off, a lot of the players just went off for a little jog just to keep the blood circulating
fresh
prior to kick-off here. And before we start, all 22 players on the field take the knee in support of the fight against social injustice and racism. And then Stuart Atwell blows for a second time, and we're off and underway with former City star Trevor Sinclair alongside me. City in their change kit of black with coral trim, attacking the goal away to our left. It's the red-bodied shirts, white sleeves and white shorts of Cheltenham attacking the goal away to our right. Trevor, 20-1, 40-1, 100-1. What are the chances of Cheltenham pulling off a massive shock like Lord Windermere?
It's a great chance straight from the off there. Jesus tried to clip it over the goalkeeper. Keeper got a little bit of something on it, and it was nearly 1-0 in the opening minutes, I've got to say.
Yeah, it's pushed away though by Cheltenham and out on this near side and away for a throw-in deep inside their own half. What are the chances of them pulling off a shock? Slim to none.
Yeah, it's got to be above 20-1. I mean, this is it'd be unbelievable if they could get anything out of this, but you never know. You know, they started off a 5-4-1. I noticed that in the shape straight away.
And they're coming forward now. Alfie May has tucked it back towards the right side, and Matty Blair is careering forward, getting into a wing position. He's got 2-to-way Matt in the centre. It's a low cross into the near post, and Alfie May went sliding towards the ball, and then he went careering behind into the advertising boarding, and he stayed down behind the goal as Zach Steffen picked the ball up at the near post. It was a lightning quick attack from Cheltenham, down the right, led by Matty Blair. His low cross in towards the near post was met by Alfie May, who went sliding in, and he continued his slide past the goal and into the advertising board, and he doesn't look at all happy. Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah, no, they can be sore. It was good initial play by Alfie May. He won the ball back. Manchester City were trying to get a little triangle on the halfway line. He laid it back. There was an overlap from the right wing back, Blair, who got on it, put it past Eric Garcia, got to the byline, pulled the ball back. Eric Garcia was unable to stop the cross, and Steffen just came out and got there before Alfie May. Alfie May's gone in front of the near post, and he looks like he's done something to his wrist. He looks in a bit of pain there, and it'd be interesting to see if he's able to carry on, because he's one of their maverick players. He gives them that little bit of twinkle going forward, like little bit of sharpness. He's got a goal in him, top goal scorer for the team. And this will be a huge loss if he's unable to continue.
Still receiving treatment behind the goal. Stuart Atwell is the referee, just checking on his progress. You may have heard Faye mention in the build-up to the game that there was souvenir programmes that have been circulated. Well, they're circulated digitally. They're digital-only programmes, apparently.
Wow.
Our producer, Deck, obviously wanting to get his hands on one, was straight down to find out where they were. And, digital-only programmes tonight.
That's why we've not seen them there.
That's why. Yeah,
but good start. Good start with Cheltenham Town there, winning the ball back and going straight on the counter-attack. Yeah,
they do try to play. They're not a team that go direct. They know they're likely to cede a lot of possession to Manchester City. The plan will be to cause as many problems as possible from their weaponised throw-ins, as we've already mentioned from Ben Tozer. But they're quite happy to soak up pressure and then try and hit on the counter-attack. Here is Garcia, about halfway inside the Manchester City half of the field. He plays it left into Laporte, given away by Mendy rather sloppily. Blair's picked it up, and it's played out by Thomas into the path on this near side of Azaz, who tries to play it back to Thomas, and then they look to build again, given away by Boyle, and then a little bit of pressure from May. It's behind Garcia. He's offside. He thought he was going to get a free kick, and he can't believe it's gone the other way.
Well, it bounced up off Garcia's foot onto his hand, and he controlled the ball with his hand, and I think Alfie May thought he was getting a little free kick there, but he started in an offside position, and when the ball went into him, he stepped in, and the linesman let it go a little bit and then pulled him back.
Small tiny little ground, terracing away to our left hand side, very shallow terracing, which is the goal that Manchester City are attacking away to our left. The speedy skip stand as Mendy goes down towards the corner. Opposite us, the Colin Farmer stand is quite a tight little League Two style building.
Reminds me a little bit of Warsaw's ground.
Yeah, it's quite small, isn't it? But it's got quite good depth to it, and it rakes up quite steeply.
Yeah, but the noise that the fans can generate in there, I bet it's decent.
Yeah, and behind the goal away to our right, similarly, the Hazelwood stand is one-tiered with a big gap in the middle, actually, behind the goal, where they can bring in bits and pieces, because they use this as a different venue as well. The ball is cleared away by Josh Griffiths up through the middle of the pitch, and it's run all the way through towards George Lloyd, who runs to the edge of the area, plays it out wide towards the left. It's cleared away by Harwood Bellis, and then out towards the near side, and then picked up in midfield and sent all the way back to the goalkeeper Griffiths, who's not shy about getting it forward quickly. Mendy heads it away on the halfway line. The boys with Blair, helps it on and tries to feed May going through the centre. Azaz likes to get on the ball, doesn't he?
He does, yeah.
Figure. He's got his hair pinned back by an Alice band, and he's quite happy to pick the ball up in that number 10 position and look for the run of May.
Looks comfortable with the ball at his feet. He's always looking for runners. In Alfie May, you've got someone who's really busy little bit of a Paul Dickoff style player. He's always looking to play off the shoulder, not letting the defenders have any minute on the ball, and making sure he makes a little bit of a nuisance of himself when they get the ball. So it's good to have a busy player up top like that, especially when you're playing against a possession-based team.
Tommy Doyle just going for a run down the right channel, looking to get on the end of a big diagonal from Laporte into the box. It's overhit and it bounces off the turf and goes behind the way down the slope. There is a slope on the Wadham Road pitch, which is tiny towards the far corner. Good for drainage, I think.
Yeah, I remember playing at Roker Park many moons ago. That just shows my age, and that had a real dip in it from the centre going both ways, and that was my first introduction to a slope. For
all you tablet and laptop users out there, that's Sunderland's former stadium. Here it is, Azaz has played it out wide towards the left hand side. May's got into the penalty area trying to get a cross in. It's blocked by Harwood Bellis and then bounces about 10 yards short of the penalty area. Chris Clements was brought down by Gabriel Jesus. They want to take the free kick quickly, but Mahrez won't let them do that, and it's going to be a set piece about 10 yards outside the box, left of centre, and this is an opportunity with those tall 6 foot plus centre backs all joining the attack, Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah, it's about putting it into the right areas now, making sure it's the right height so the defenders that have come up for this set piece can go and have a chance to attack this ball and get first contact.
Free kick to be taken by Blair over on the far side. It's clipped towards the far post. Ball is underneath it. Raglan is there too. He's struck towards goal. Was there a handball there? Connor Thomas hit it. There was an arm in the air, and the referee shook his head straight away, and Manchester City managed to clear. But Cheltenham have got possession again. You listen to Talk Sport. We played 7.5 minutes. It's Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0. Ball angled into the box, looking for Boyle again, trying to get away. Sticks out a big left leg. Mendy manages to deal with it. Takes it to the right side, and now collected by Laporte. And the sting goes out of the attack, and City have got the ball back once again. Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0.
It's been a very interesting start, I've got to say, Sam. Cheltenham Town look really up for this game. They've put the ball into the 18-yard box of Manchester City quite a few occasions already, and City, I've got to say, don't look comfortable. Laporte and Eric Garcia look like they're new together, and that partnership, they've not got used to each other, and I think that's a real encouragement for Cheltenham Town to keep on putting the ball in the box and putting them under pressure.
And Laporte's only his 9th start of the season. I think he's only started a League Cup game since the Champions League match on the 9th of December. We haven't seen Eric Garcia since the 9th of December because of COVID-19 issues and other issues as well, and selection. I mean, Stones and Diaz have been keeping them out of the team, but they're in the team for the first time in well over a month today. Here is the free kick taken on the far side by Tommy Doyle, right-footed, flat delivery into the near post, takes a couple of deflections. It was good delivery as well. Flicked on by Jesus, then through into the arms of Josh Griffiths away to our left-hand side. 0-0. Cheltenham started the weekend in 6th position in League 2. Before we kicked off, they were in 7th. They have had a really good campaign. They just faltered slightly in the last few weeks. They failed to win any of their last 7 league matches. They only lost 2 of those. They've drawn the other 5, but it's a stutter that has seen them just come off the bridle a little bit and fall out of contention momentarily, but it's very tight at the top, and any sort of victory would see them get right back into the automatic places. They have had a bit of an issue scoring goals. They scored 5 in a thrilling game against Exeter at the beginning of December when they had a crowd in here, but since that they haven't really been able to find that goal scoring form again.
Yeah, it's a challenge for players, especially when you get real exuberant players that love getting on the ball, love the atmosphere. Sometimes that can give them the extra little G they need.
They have a free kick here which is floated into the box. It's headed away by Fernandinho, controlled by Jesus. Not the greatest ball back to Mendy, but he's turned and fired it forward. Foden trying to get on the end of it. Matty Blair will see this all the way back to his goalkeeper, and no trouble for Cheltenham Town. Yeah, it must be an issue when you start the season behind closed doors. They open the doors again, you get fans in, all of a sudden that carries you through. You've got a great victory, 5-3 over Exeter in a thrilling game, and then all of a sudden you come back on Boxing Day and it's silent again.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. Listen, I've never had to experience it as a player, apart from friendly games, but actual league games, that means something, and you're playing for 3 points. To play it without a crowd must be really difficult for the boys, and fair play to the players that have had to do that. the professionalism superb to be able to put themselves and get themselves 100% ready for games. Obviously it's not exactly the same, but you know, you've got a job to do and you're a professional. Get it done.
Garcia charging up towards the halfway line, left-footed, floats the ball forward towards the right, juggled with by Mahrez through the legs of the defender onto Doyle, low cross in towards the near post, dealt with by Blair, coming in from the left wing back position, does very well, gets it away from Foden, and it's cleared out on this near side, stopped it from reaching Ferran Torres too. Collected deep in midfield by Chris Clements, who plays it left to Boyle. Boyle, the centre half, clips it up towards Alfie May. It runs across his body and all the way through to Zach Stefan. In fact, before it gets there, it's retrieved by Laporte. You're listening to TalkSport.
Great ball into the box again from that right hand side. Doyle looks really dangerous, looks like he's got precision, real accuracy with them crossing that he puts into the box. And Ferran Torres should have just took a gamble there, because I think if he did, he would have had a chance in the, probably on the 6-yard line. But he sat back and he didn't get the opportunity. Tommy Doyle's only third appearance of the season so far. Did play against Olympiacos in the Champions League, as the ball goes in the box again from Doyle. Comes towards Mendy, strikes it, it's cleared off the line brilliantly. What a clearance that was by Clemens, who just got back on the line and stopped what was a thunderous effort from Mendy. He's only ever scored one goal for Manchester City. His first goal was against Burnley. He almost got his second. Yeah, again, as we said just a minute ago, Tommy Doyle, his cross, superb cross into an area. The defence couldn't deal with it properly. It's almost bounced perfectly for Mendy. He struck it with his left foot, and it's a great clearance on the line. It was definitely going inside the post, and really good clearance from the defender on the line. That was superb. Well hit from Mendy. Probably couldn't quite believe that it didn't go in. It's one of them that he just bounced up perfectly. You think, oh, I'll have some of this. And he struck it really well with his laces. A little bit of curve with his left foot from right to left. And brilliant improvisation by the defender to get that off the line. First corner of the game for Manchester City. 0-0 the score here at the Johnny Rock Stadium. Wadham Road, as you probably used to know it. It's an outswinger from Doyle in towards the edge of the 6-yard box, easily dealt with by Charlie Raglan, the former FC United of Manchester player, Manchester born and bred Raglan. He's got more defending to do as Doyle gets it back over on the far side, and then eventually it's cleared up towards the halfway line by Cheltenham Town. Manchester City have it back again. Foden, ambitious ball, doesn't quite come off, a driven delivery which eludes Gabriel Jesus and goes out of play away for a goal kick away to our left hand side. Manchester City had to get changed in the club bar, just like Marine made Tottenham switch out of their tracksuits in a lounge, and Stockport did the same to West Ham. Pep Guardiola wasn't making any excuses for that, though. He's quite happy to say that we've done this before, we've come through the ranks, we know what it's like, we like lower league football. I think he's been class when you're talking about the lower leagues and how he takes our cup competition seriously. You know, they've won the League Cup so many times, Manchester City. It's almost part of the furniture at the Etihad, and you know, he wants to continue that tradition. And you know, for a foreign manager to come in and get it as much as Pep Guardiola's got it, I think that's been fantastic. Hasn't won this competition very often though, has he? Only the once? Yeah, on the treble year or the quadruple year, what do you call it? Yeah, he calls it the quadruple, so I think we'll probably stick with what he says. Yeah, I think once you've got a taste for the FA Cup like Manchester City did in the 2018-19 season, they'll want to get a piece of it again, and they need to get through Cheltenham Town first. Yeah, the winners of this tie take on Swansea City. Here is Torres going into the box. A rogue foot comes out, hits him in the chest. He goes down wanting a penalty. Stuart Atwell says, you're at a League 2 ground now, son, get up. The ball's picked up by Azaz. It's sent forward towards the left corner of the field, looking for George Lloyd. May missed it too, and it was away by Harwood Bellis in that right full-back position. Really good defending, no nonsense. He didn't know exactly what was around him. And if you get the first contact as a defender, you'll probably deal with a lot of problems that could occur if you don't head that ball. Freestone's just headed the ball back after a floated delivery by Fernandinho, diagonally out towards the wide right, looking for Mahrez. He heads it back to his goalkeeper Griffiths, and they look to build again. Earlier on today, Southampton beat Arsenal by a goal to nil. Trevor upset about the team selection from Mikel Arteta. I was, yeah. I think, you know, for me, I've always been of the impression, if especially in the FA Cup, it's not a Mickey Mouse competition. It's probably the best cup competition in the world, and if you can't put your best side, especially defending it, they're the champions. Defend that title. Well, you ain't going to win anything else if you're Arsenal, are you? Exactly. So I think the fans will be really annoyed with the fact that, you know, some key players were rested for the first 60 minutes of that game. And the fact, for me, it makes it even more confusing, because the run that Arteta's just had, where he was having bad results and people were getting on to his back and he was under pressure, one of the reasons why he probably kept his job is because he won the FA Cup. Be loyal to it and you know, give it its credit that it deserves.
Barnsley also beat Norwich by a goal to nil. Good result for them. And Brighton beat Blackpool by 2-1. Bristol City won away at Millwall 3-0. Sheffield United won 2-1 at home to Plymouth. West Ham thrashed Doncaster 4-0. No problems there for David Moyes' team. And Swansea blitzed Nottingham Forest 5-1. It's not the only other action as well that's still to come in the FA Cup, because we've got 3 games for you tomorrow on TalkSport and TalkSport 2. Here, the ball has been picked up by Azaz. He sends it forward towards May. Across steps Laporte, just to allow it to just shunt across his body and then go back into a left full-back position and clear for Manchester City. We played 16 minutes. It's been a good game so far, 0-0 between Cheltenham of League 2, 7th at the start of play, and Manchester City, who can go top of the Premier League if they win their game, ahead of Manchester United's game. Leicester obviously have got to play this week as well. Do not forget about them. But it's very tight at the top of the Premier League, isn't it? That anyone can win it. I've said to Trevor a few times who I think is going to win the Premier League. But we'll save that for another day.
Well, I think in general the team with the best defence wins the Premier League.
Oh, where'd you get that from?
I don't know, it just come to me. And for me, I mean, I heard some of the quotes that Diaz, and he just opened his first Twitter handle, so I followed him straight away because I'm a huge fan of his and the way that he's applied himself to the Premier League since he's arrived as a young man. And obviously all the praise is being put on him and John Stones, and he said, it's not all about me and John Stones, because when you see De Bruyne and the midfielders absolutely working their socks off to get back in and put pressure on the ball after going to support the forward players, that's what it's about. And I thought that was really quite selfless of him to do that, and a typical defender, to be honest.
Well, you can understand why they've grabbed the headlines in the recent weeks. They've gone 5 matches without conceding a goal, and they have both been superb, and Stones has contributed with 3 goals recently as well.
Yeah, Diaz said it's not about not conceding goals, it's about not conceding shots. He didn't want his keeper making saves, so that just tells you a little bit about his personality as a player.
Down the left for Manchester City, onto Foden, into the area, comes to Torres, good save down to his left by Griffiths, and he stops Torres from giving Manchester City the lead. Good cross by Foden into Ferran Torres, reacted well, and so did Griffiths. Conceded a goal from long range in midweek, and from 4 yards he's made a point-blank save to deny Manchester City.
Yeah, excellent from Griffiths, because he's a big man and that ball was right on the ground and it was quite close to him. Good cross in from Foden. He connected quite over with his left foot. It was quite tame, but it was low, and it was a difficult one because it was so close. But good goalkeeping from the keeper.
19 gone, 0-0 at Wadham Road. Outswinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Laporte goes up there, comes to Foden. Great touch, brings it down, shoots, deflection into the air, caught by Griffiths underneath his crossbar. Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0 in the 4th round of the FA Cup. The winners play Swansea City in the midweek of the 9th, 10th and 11th of February, and we'll have all the games live on TalkSport in the 5th round as well, and probably we will have all the quarterfinals and the semi-finals and the final, because we are dedicated to the FA Cup, and Trevor and I are here, so
great to be here. I've never been to the stadium before,
so this is a new experience for us. We're quite happy to put our hand up and come down here today, especially to get out of the snow where we were in the north earlier on today.
Horrendous weather. It's
nice and crisp in Cheltenham as Fernandinho picks the ball up in the centre circle and pokes it out wide towards the right. Mahrez tries to take on the fullback Freestone. Freestone holds him up, turns and plays the ball back into midfield. Mahrez, now it's picked up by Tommy Doyle, whose granddad used to play, both granddads used to play for Manchester City. Onto Laporte, who sends it square into the path of Garcia, who clips it down the right touchline, looking for the run of Mahrez. Didn't quite get that right, but the idea certainly was right, and it runs all the way through to goalkeeper Griffiths away to our left-hand side.
Yeah, Freestone's done really well at left-back against Mahrez. He's stood his ground, he's got tight whilst the ball's on the way, which gives Mahrez less time on the ball. That time he went a bit early. Mahrez made that out-to-in run, and it was just poorly executed by Garcia.
Really disappointing for Chris Hussey, who's been playing in that left wing-back role all season. Has been absolutely superb in Cheltenham Town. He picked up a foot injury, got a kick, tried to play the game against Newport, tried to come back against Newport. He lasted about 20 minutes, had to be substituted. His left foot swelled up really badly. Then obviously the hope was he could do something with painkilling injections or painkillers this week. Didn't quite work out, and as a result there's a change at left wing back, and Lewis Freestone has to go in there. They hoped actually that what they were going to do was put Ellis Chapman, who's very physical, out on that far side, but he picked up an injury too. Yeah,
I think he's probably the right matchup, because if you put a physical guy out there, Mahrez, with his agility and the ability to change direction, probably would have been too much for him.
Well, Freestone's got it again over on the far side. He's brought the ball forward after Mahrez lost it. Azaz got it, sends it forward onto May. May was in an offside position. The linesman wasn't exactly up with play when that happened, but it was a good spot.
Yeah, he was kind of in line with me, and he's just a little bit keen, Alfie May. He's just going a tad too early. You can see he's on the shoulder. He wants to go, he wants to threaten that space in behind, but he's just going a little bit early, and I'm sure his coach Michael Duff will be telling him, just hold it a fraction of a second and then go, because Manchester City have got a really high back line, and if he does beat that offside, he's got a free run to Stefan.
3 goals in the FA Cup so far, 2 against South Shields, 1 against Mansfield earlier in the competition. He's a live wire. He actually once scored 4 goals in an FA Cup game against Chorley.
It doesn't surprise me. He's one of them players you can see he just wants to get on the ball, he wants to dribble with it, he wants to create things. I love players like that.
Yeah, came through non-league in Kent. Here's Jesus, edge of the area, plays it back to Torres, and then on to Harwood Bellis, who went to move forward and try and strike. It goes out wide to Mahrez. It's crossed into the centre. Jesus rising, heads the ball over the top of the crossbar. That's a chance.
Yeah, great cross. Very simple. Bayliss looked like he was going to take the shot on outside of his right foot into Mahrez, who got the ball out of his feet first time and put a really wicked cross in swing of his left foot. And it's a really good chance for Jesus. He'll be disappointed with that. He's just got a little bit too much on it, or it may have come off his shoulder. When there's so much pace on the ball like that as a striker, if you're in and around 6-8 yards out, you just got to direct it. Let it hit your head and direct into one of the corners. He's tried to put a little bit too much muscle behind it and got his timing wrong. Big chance though.
You can understand why there was trepidation amongst the Cheltenham fans, especially having watched the game in midweek on Wednesday against Aston Villa, where they had a lot of opportunities. Here's May though, trying to get a shot away inside the area on the half volley. Took a little deflection, I think, on the way through and went into the side netting.
Yeah. Great effort.
A corner.
Great effort. I'm not sure Stefan touched it. It just dropped over his left shoulder, and he's took it first time from probably about 14 yards on the angle. He's hit it well with his lacy, straight foot, and it looked like it was going just wide, but I'm not sure whether Stefan got a right hand to it, and it's a Cheltenham Town corner.
It is their first of the game. I was just about to say that Manchester City had 30 shots in the game with Aston Villa, and Aston Villa did quite well in the match, really, to be honest with you.
Great game.
Here's the delivery towards the far post, punched away by Stefan, who paws the ball with his right hand out towards the near side, and it's taken on by Jesus, who's robbed, and it's picked up by Tozer on this near touchline. It's down the right. Boyle tries to get the cross in, takes a deflection into the air, only half cleared. Azaz has got it inside the box now. Cheltenham putting pressure on Manchester City. 0-0 the score. Azaz to the edge of the area, push forward into Boyle inside the area. Oh, that's a late challenge by Boyle in the back of Doyle, and that's going to be a yellow card from Stuart Atwell. Just a little bit over physical, I think, from Will Boyle.
Yeah, I think that's a centre half in the final third, going forward and trying to keep it alive, and just a little bit too enthusiastic.
Just like at Chorley last night, and even Marine, really, the pitch is not a problem at all for Manchester City. You don't get many pitches now like the one at Hereford just down the road, where Ronnie Radford scored that famous FA Cup goal against Newcastle in 1972. Not that I remember it, but it was on my 101 goals video many years ago. I've heard Motti talk about it quite a lot.
The trajectory as it rose, beautiful strike.
You don't really get those sort of pitches anymore though, do you? Where it sort of sticks underfoot. I mean, maybe the goal mouth here away to our right is a little bit sticky, but apart from that, it's completely flat, apart from the fact that it slopes down towards the corner. It's a slope that Manchester City are shooting towards in this first half. Cheltenham like to play that way in the second, and they'll get to do that. At the moment, they've got halfway through the first half, and it is 0-0. And they want to join Southampton, Barnsley, Brighton, Bristol City, Sheffield United, Swansea, Wolves, West Ham, all in the fifth round of the competition.
Manchester United and Liverpool, one of them are going to go.
One of them will go. tomorrow. Live and exclusive commentary tomorrow. No one else can broadcast that game apart from us here on TalkSport to National Radio. And Jim Proudfoot is going to be with Andy Townsend and Mark Hughes tomorrow.
I heard that. Yeah, great to have Mark involved.
Ball sent back by Mendy into Fernandinho. Fernandinho back out to Mendy again, halfway inside opposition territory. Goes back to the halfway line. Laporte's got it now, and square into the centre circle where Eric Garcia has it. Now Foden dropping deep to pick the ball out. Bit of space right side for Harwood Bellis. He's a yard in from the touchline. Back to Foden once more. He then sends the ball long and diagonally out towards Mendy, who beats it on the volley with a cross into the near post. Oh, it scoops through the 6-yard box, just eludes Torres. Goes through the other side. Freestone clears, hits Mahrez, and then comes back, and then eventually George Lloyd will send it up towards the halfway line. Azaz can't hold on to it, and it's back once again with Eric Garcia. 0-0.
Yeah, good crossfield ball. That's what they've got to do. Take a little bit more care with them crossfield passes. It was a great ball. Mendy played it first time on the volley with his left foot right across that 6-yard line, and it was really difficult for Cheltenham Town defenders to want to go anywhere near it, to be honest, and it's gone harmless. Again, you've got to have Torres in there and maybe Mahrez on the far post gambling and trying to get in on that, because if they do, they've got a chance 6 yards out.
TalkSport live at the Johnny Rocks Stadium in Cheltenham. It used to be known as Wadham Road. Cheltenham Town 0, Manchester City 0 in the FA Cup. 4th round. Back to league business against Oldham on Tuesday night for Cheltenham. West Brom live on TalkSport for Manchester City. It's one of 10 live matches that we're going to bring you Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, only on TalkSport. All those games exclusive to us via our TalkSport app, TalkSport and TalkSport 2, including Tuesday night. Where were you Tuesday night? Are you anywhere Tuesday night?
No.
I am. Where am I Tuesday night? I actually can't even remember where I'm going Tuesday. Southampton versus Arsenal Tuesday night.
Again.
Wednesday night, Chelsea versus Wolves. You're doing Manchester United versus Sheffield United, I think.
Yep.
And then Thursday night, it's Tottenham against Liverpool. What a big game that is. Dean Ashton will be alongside me for that one. Everton-Leicester is
incredible stadium.
Well, Tottenham's. Oh. You liked it there, did you?
Yeah, I was blown away, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, but it's just as nice being at the Johnny Rocks.
Yeah, it is. It's lovely.
It's less of a walk up the stairs, that's for sure.
Got something to defend here, Manchester City.
Yeah, it's a free kick deep inside the Manchester City half. It's been given to Clements, who's going to take it. He's going to whip this in. All 3 centre-backs are up for this. Blair is the quarterback, just protecting the defence. It's whipped in towards the far post, helped towards Stefan, who just comes out, takes charge of the situation, and he immediately grabs it, and that settles the defence. I think he's been really good. I think it's his 8th appearance of the season so far, and taking charge of that situation displays why Pep Guardiola has got faith in him. Yeah,
it's a little bit of a floaty one from Clements, and it's just inside the 6-yard box, and I think any goalkeeper worth the salt should be coming and claiming that and owning that situation. He did that well. He gave his teammates a shout, caught it, filled him with confidence, and not just with his crossing ability and his saving ability. I think he's been almost as good as Ederson with his feet, which is incredible to say, because as we know, Ederson's one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in the world, and I think Stefan's kind of been equal to that since he's been in at Manchester City.
You're listening to TalkSport, where it is Manchester City away at Cheltenham. It's Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0. 29 minutes gone, and the ball is on the halfway line. Manchester City, who have taken a little while in recent matches to get warmed up, to start scoring goals. Most of their goals have been coming in the second half, Trevor. Not really caused that many issues for Josh Griffiths. He's made one big save from Torres, and there was a shot cleared off the line by Clements from Mendy, but apart from that, so far it's not as if they've been hanging on. Cheltenham Town.
No, and I think it reflects the setup and the work that Michael Duff's put into this Cheltenham Town team, how to defend certain situations, how to stick to tack, stay on your feet, get your shape right. So I would credit the home side for that, but as time goes on and players get a little bit fatigued, gaps will start to open up, and then you'd like to think that Manchester City's quality, they will start to create more chances and get that breakthrough goal.
Well, the manager Michael Duff is a former Cheltenham player. He's a former Burnley player as well, and he did his coaching apprenticeship at Turf Moor under Sean Dyche. Worked with him as I think he was looking after the under-23s at one stage. He was certainly part of the first team coaching staff as well for a little while. He came to the Football Writers Northern dinner, and I was sitting on a table with him and Sean. I spent the whole evening talking to Michael about learning his trade and what he was doing and what he was putting into it, and he was a fascinating guy, and he's a really good character.
Yeah, it's about people, football, you know, like everything. And if you get good people working the socks off for you, understanding what you want as a player, as a coach, and they put everything into it, you'll do okay.
Manchester City have the ball. Pep Guardiola was at that dinner as well, as Foden sends it on down the right-hand side. And Michael Duff has said he's going to try and seek out Pep Guardiola later for a chat if he's got 5 minutes. So those two might well share a few. Doesn't he? Yeah, he does share a few ideas.
Great. You never stop learning in this game, you know. It doesn't matter what age you are, there's always new things to learn. It's a simple game, but it's almost an impossible game to know inside out. There's always things evolving.
Well, no major chance came from that scenario. Floated harmlessly out of play, and a goal kick is taken by Griffiths. Upfield it goes, down the left. Lloyd tries to help it back towards Boyle. Offside flag is against May again. He's just got another just a shade too early. And the free kick given to Manchester City.
You know, I think you've got to credit Laporte and Eric Garcia as well. They've got a high line. They understand where the ball is, and in conjunction to that, where they need to stand to make sure Alfie May just veers into that offside position. And it's a great way of defending, but it's an easy win back of the ball.
Well, Lloyd tried to get the ball up really quickly to him, didn't he? And I think Faye mentioned earlier on that Alfie May was a player who comes up with maverick finishes, and so does Foden as he tries to get on the end of a cross which was sent to the edge of the area. He darted into the box, first time finish, but went wide by about 5 yards inside the area. No problems for Griffiths once again.
Yeah, it's a pattern though, isn't it? You got a couple of runners going more centrally. They're kind of taking defenders away from the ball and from Mendy, and then the ball gets switched to Mendy, who again plays it first time on the volley just across that dangerous six-yard box line, and he's just got a little bit too much on it. He's gone a little bit early with his strike. A little bit more composure there from Phil Foden, and he could have put Manchester City 1-0 up. 67% possession so far, 5 shots, 4 on target, 2 corners, just a 1 shot on target from Cheltenham Town. And Manchester City probably having the best chances, or definitely having the best chances of the game so far. Here's Mendy, now on to Foden, halfway line, Jesus, now Mendy again, on to Jesus, who's just left of centre, goes foraging back to the halfway line, dropping deep into Fernandinho. Jesus takes it on, May allows him to wander forward and then tries to slide it through to Torres, but it's overhit, dribbles past him and goes out for a goal kick away to our left-hand side. It's not the first time that Manchester City have travelled to League 2 opponents in the FA Cup. We were at Newport in 2019. They also won a home game against Port Vale last season. Rarely are they the subject of an upset since Sheikh Mansour took over. I think it reflects the quality of the players and also the management. You know, the gaffer in charge makes sure the players mentally are right for games, and they shouldn't be getting beat off League 2 sides. It's as simple as that, if they do things right.
The FA Cup does cause a few problems, as we saw last night. I was at National League North ground and Wolves didn't have everything their own way.
Superb effort from Chorley.
Here is Tommy Doyle over on the far side, being harassed by Lloyd. Lloyd wins the ball legally, says Stuart Atwell. Now Azaz has got it, and May goes to dart forward. Azaz darts into the Manchester City half. On the left, Freestone provides support. At the back post, Blair is coming in. They need a cross into the box here. He's taken his time though, Freestone, and then checked back. Boyle's got it now. Back down to Freestone. Manchester City have got their shape back. They just lost a little bit of momentum there, Cheltenham Town. After getting a good attack, it just slowed down. Freestone needed to deliver it a little bit earlier. Yeah,
I think he could have swung his left foot at it. There was bodies in the box and it was a good move. Azaz played his part, but he just delayed, and then the chance had gone, and they tried to work it so they could get the cross in because they had many bodies in the box, but they just couldn't get that half a yard to find the space to put the ball in the box. And again, it's good defending from Manchester City on that second phase of that attack.
0-0. Manchester City 6 times winners of this competition, yet to break down Cheltenham Town. Here's Mendy, who's had a good effort cleared off the line. Foden, who's steered a shot wide. Torres, who's playing centrally. We haven't seen too much of Ferran Torres, have we? He scored against Newcastle, missed Chelsea because of coronavirus, who returned against Crystal Palace. I've hardly seen him since Boxing Day.
It's been one of them seasons though, hasn't it? I mean, you look at the situation with Aguero, he got injured, then he came back from the injury, made a couple of little substitute appearances, then he was in contact with somebody who had COVID, and then he caught COVID himself, so it's just dragging things out for certain players, and if you're unlucky to be in contact with someone like... Oof.
Oh, Jesus just got an arm across the face on the edge of the area as the ball's played to him. He's gone down theatrically, but Stuart Atwell has said play on. It's come back out to Mendy, left edge of the area, into Jesus, who's back on his feet again, then trying to sort it out, dances past two challenges, then a third, tees it up for Mahrez, who's just come out to this near side. In the centre of the Cheltenham half is Fernandinho, who strikes from distance, and it had Griffiths sprawling across to his right, but he missed the target.
Yeah, good effort. He tried to catch the goalkeeper Griffiths out there. Looked like he was probably about 25 yards out. Looked like he was going to play the ball wide, and then just twisted his foot in 25 yards out. It was struck well, just missed the far post, with the goalkeeper scampering across to try and cover it.
After us at 7:30 tonight, it's your chance to have yourself National Radio. Game day, your verdict with Faye Carruthers and Gabby at Bondahore. 08717 223344 is the number. You can get your calls. Have yourself National Radio. 7:30 tonight. Arsenal fans might want to talk about their exit from the FA Cup. Nottingham Forest fans might want to talk about their exit by 5-1 away at Swansea City today. 08717 223344 is the number to call if you want to get in touch. This is Talk Sport. Sam Matterface and Trevor Sinclair are down at the Johnny Rock Stadium in Cheltenham, Gloucestershire, where it is Cheltenham of League 2 0, Manchester City 0. And the longer it goes on at 0-0, the more plaudits Cheltenham will win, and the more confidence they will get as well, as it's sent down the right by Charlie Raglan up towards the edge of the Manchester City penalty area. First ball is won, second ball comes back to May, right edge of the box, not a great clearance. It's May trying to shoot from distance, doesn't quite get hold of it, takes a deflection, and it's smuggled away only as far as Boyle. Freestone has to go backwards rather than forwards, and then Tozer tries to nudge it all the way back to his goalkeeper. Tozer, who's been around the league, I think he started out at Newcastle, went to Newport for a while, was ostracised by Graham Wesley, didn't really think he had a future in football anymore, but he's back playing in League 2 now. Here is Azaz on loan from West Brom, helped into the air by Doyle, might be kept alive by Lloyd. No, he's going to allow it to go out and away for a corner after that rather unorthodox clearance from Doyle.
Yeah, a little bit erratic. He just seemed like the ball was bouncing around and he wanted to get it out for a throw-in or get it out of harm's way, and just needed a tiny bit more composure there. If he knows what's around him, spatial awareness, knows bodies around, just make that first pass and then build from there.
Corner to be taken on the near side by Clemens. He's got Tozer to aim at. Floyd and Mayer right by Zach Stefan. And Boyle is at the far post. It's aimed in towards the near post. Almost came through to Boyle, flashed through the middle of the penalty box, and it's cleared away by Jesus. Azaz heads it forward, but only finds Torres, who flicks it out high into the air, out on the right, and the counter is on with Mahrez galloping forward towards the byline, attacking the goal away to our left. Blair is back there, and he heads the ball away over on the far side. Very experienced Matty Blair, scored in midweek. He's formerly of Fleetwood and Doncaster, York and Mansfield. He's attack-minded as a right wing-back, but he knows the game and he knows where to position himself, and he was certainly in the right place there.
Yeah, nail on the head there, Sam. His positioning was great. He could tell Mahrez was going to put it up because the ball was running out of place to the byline. It was on his weaker foot, so there's a chance he's not going to be able to get too much on it, and he put himself in a position where he was going to get the first contact. I think it was Torres behind him. He was confident that ball wasn't going to beat him and he was going to get first contact. Good defending.
Well, so far so good for Cheltenham Town. Here is Phil Foden twirling away from the attentions of Connor Thomas. He plays it infield to Mahrez, who's got room to get the shot away, and it's fumbled by Griffiths. It was moving, slipped off the top of his glove, but he recovered, pushed it into the air and grabbed it at the second attempt. 0-0.
Yeah, decent strike, straight down the goalkeeper's throat. Took 2 attempts to get there, but he was well in control there, made sure he had strong wrists, palmed it up in the air and then gathered it. Good save in the end.
Well, when Michael Duff spoke this week, he spoke about the biggest of free hits. He said, this is what you want when you get a third round draw. And they spent most of their years, of course, getting to the first round proper, and the second round were great achievements for Cheltenham Town.
Absolutely.
But now the third round, and they wanted a free kick that wasn't given. Azaz forward to May, through to Azaz, cleared away on the edge of the box, just back from the D from Eric Garcia, and it's taken out of the sky with aplomb, let's just say that
was
by Mahrez.
Beautiful touch that.
It was a bit naughty, wasn't it? He did that.
Lovely.
Delicious control out of the sky, then flick it round the corner and lay it off. And this is happening everywhere I go in the FA Cup. Blooming fireworks doesn't even scare me anymore. First time I absolutely panicked. Let's just say I panicked. I was going to say something else, but
that was quite nice. What's going on there?
Last night I didn't worry too much about it, and then tonight I was almost expecting it. FA Cup fireworks everywhere you go. The referee has just decided that we're going to wait until the fireworks are over before we continue. So with 5 minutes before half-time, he has stopped the game while we watch this wonderful display of red and green and purple and orange sparks that fly up into the Gloucestershire night sky. Luckily for us, it's cloudless and it's behind the Colin Farmer stand. So while the players take on a drink, I can tell you that we can expect more fireworks this weekend, because we're bringing you more live coverage from the FA Cup on TalkSport 2 tomorrow, where Chelsea take on Luton. Brentford against Leicester is after that on TalkSport. An exclusive commentary of Manchester United against Liverpool always has pyrotechnics. That's with Mark Hughes, with Andy Townsend and Jim Proud for Monday night. Tottenham against Wickham. That's produced fireworks in the past, a 4-3 game, which Jim was talking about in commentary earlier on, that he was at. A thriller. We're hoping for more of the same on Monday evening, before we bring you all 10 Premier League matches across Tuesday, Wednesday and Thursday, by which time I'm hoping that they've run out of fireworks. Where do you even get fireworks now?
I think these are unused fireworks, because nobody could have a real bonfire night.
I couldn't get fireworks on bonfire night, and all the shops were shut where I was.
Exactly, same as us. Little story about Mark Hughes. I met Mark Hughes when I'm not sure.
The game stopped, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
1994. I met him in a bar, and I just nipped to the toilet. I was on my way back to my girlfriend. And
is this a fireworks story?
No, this is a story about Mark Hughes. So I bumped into Mark Hughes, and I'm not sure what club he would have been at in '94. Probably Manchester United. And I started talking to him, and he was like, "Hi. I just made a breakthrough into the Premier League for Queen's Park Rangers." And I was a little bit, starstruck. I was just making my way, and he was obviously an established international Premier League player, and all of a sudden I felt the old shepherd's hook. My wife had seen me talking to him, came over, gave me a big mouthful, saying, "Why are you making me wait on my own?" and dragged me away. And I think that I might have to mention that to Mark if I'm ever working with him. And that was the first time I met Mark Hughes. So
was your
it's my wife now.
Was she concerned that you were talking too much?
I was just away too long.
Oh, you just left her on her own too long. That's negligent on your part.
Poor that from me, isn't it?
You should have brought her over and introduced her to Mark Hughes.
Well, not to the toilet, obviously.
Oh, clearly. You're listening to TalkSport, not Trevor's dating diaries, but we do have a situation here where the game has been stopped because of a raft of fireworks. I mean, they're all right, these fireworks. They're not Sydney, they're not New Year's Eve down on the South Bank. They're okay, but we've had enough now. Any chance you could stop it and we can crack on with the football, because that's what we're here for.
What dangers does the referee Stuart Atwell think is there for the players from these fireworks, just because there's a few bits coming onto the pitch and whatnot?
No, it's because he can't communicate with his assistants, and he can't hear what's going on, and that's the reason. Well, that was the reason that was given, that they stopped it in the first time it happened to me, which was Stockport West Ham. They said they couldn't communicate between the two assistants, and as a result of that, the fourth official and Stuart Atwell probably had a conversation where they said, look, we can't hear each other, and because we can't communicate, we've got to halt the game until we can.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, well, hopefully they've decided now that they've... I mean, how much do you reckon those fireworks cost?
They've done a few quid there. Yeah. For sure.
Crikey.
Done a few quid.
Could just donate that money to a charity, maybe? There you go, there's an idea. Instead of fireworks, why not donate the money to a good cause? Anyway,
absolutely.
There we are. I think that's finished now. Oh, yeah. Is that it?
Thankfully.
I think that's it. They've run out. They've lost their puff. And we can get on with the game. I don't know how long that delay was. I think it was about 4.5 minutes, so we'll add that on. Deck was too busy. Our in-stadium producer, Declan, was too busy texting, so he didn't time it. Yeah, he's not in the good books today, because today's the first day actually that he hasn't brought us snacks. Have you noticed that?
I did actually notice that.
He's usually very good on that.
And he didn't offer us a coffee either.
I think he's bought himself a flask. I think that's the reason for that. Anyway, we're back underway. The ball's into the box and it's headed on by Boyle towards May. Goes behind, does it, and out for a corner. Offside flag was up anyway. It's not going to go for anything. The fourth official has indicated that there's a minimum 6 minutes of added time at the end of the game. So that's because of the fireworks, and it is still 0-0, and we're back underway, and the ball is with Garcia out to the right. No changes in that firework break. Here is Foden. I actually think that maybe it'd be good to have some more fireworks so we could have another Trevor dating story.
Steady.
Here is Mahrez out to the right. Harwood Bellis back into Mahrez once again. It's clipped forward down the right channel looking for Torres. Good header away that by Tozer. There was an offside flag up against Jesus anyway, and it's going to be a free kick to Cheltenham Town of League 2. And look, it is that sort of delay in the middle of a match. It probably helps Cheltenham, doesn't it, rather than it helps Manchester City?
Yeah, 100%. You know, Michael Duff would have just got into a few of these players about certain things, that pattern of play that keeps on ending at Benjamin Mendy's feet on the switch. Be aware of that. Make sure you're aware for the second phase of that coming into the box. So, yeah, it will have just helped him just coach a few little points to just stamp out any kind of danger that Manchester City seem to be repeating.
Here we go. This is the first time we're going to get to see it.
He's
so the ball has been sent down the left channel, and Harwood Bellis cleared it straight out for a throw-in, which means we're going to see, right at the end of the first half, the torpedo from Tozer. And what is apparently very impressive is the flat trajectory that he gets. Now, Will Boyle is usually the target and has scored 3 goals via these long throws this season, and he is being currently marked by Gabriel Jesus. I'm going to suggest that's not a good idea. Ball in towards the near post. It comes off the defender. And it goes behind and away for a corner. There's claims for handball. And there was confusion inside the box, and Jesus did lose his man. Boyle thought that he was blocked off as he tried to get to the edge of the 6-yard box. It came off a defender and went behind, and it's out for a corner to Cheltenham Town, 0-0.
Yeah, great launch in, as we expected. Good length and good accuracy with that throw. It was challenged. It looked like it came off one of the Manchester City players, deflected out for a corner, but yeah, you can see why they've scored so many goals from that throw-in.
Right, they're surrounding the goalkeeper again here. Raglan is there, and so is Tozer, and it goes right underneath the crossbar, punched away by Stefan, comes back out to Freestone, who heads it forward, away by Mendy, and Blair will just tidy up at the back for Cheltenham Town. 0-0 the score. You're listening to Talk Sport, and we've planned to bring you 8 commentaries over this weekend from the FA Cup. I think this is number 4. Yeah, this is number 4. We've got 3 tomorrow and 1 on Monday night.
Good goalkeeping from Stefan. It was a really good delivery in from the left, in swinger, right into his body, got up highest and just double punched it away towards the edge of the box, and it was cleaned up by Manchester City. But great confidence from Stefan just to make sure he got first contacts. He weren't intimidated by all the players that were around him, and he just concentrated on executing his job really well.
Ball is out over on the far side. We're into the 4th of 6 added minutes at the end of a interrupted first half, and it's with Cheltenham Town, who are going to get another throw in as they progress a little bit further down that touchline, and another chance to throw the ball in. Now this is some way out. I mean, he is midway inside the Manchester City half. I mean, he's only halfway inside City territory, and if he can get it into the box from here, that is some effort. He has been studying Rory Delap's technique via video. He steps up, big launch throw towards the edge of the 6-yard box, flicked on by Boyle, comes out to Freestone, hooked away by Mahrez before Freestone can get there, and it's cleared up towards the halfway line. Look, they've played some good football, but that is definitely a weapon, isn't it? Yeah,
and listen, if you've got something like that, why not use it? Because you would probably say the best chances that Cheltenham Town are going to create are from set pieces, corners, but when you've got a throw-in like that, it's almost like as useful as a corner, and you can see how much of a threat it is because Manchester City are aware of it and they're defending really well.
Here is Foden down the left-hand side. Across goes Tozer, tries to see it out of play. Foden tries to keep it in, but can't do so. Tozer clears, and it goes out by the halfway line and away for a throw-in to Manchester City, who don't have a similar sort of weapon, and even if they did, I'm not entirely sure that Pep Guardiola would use it. Here is Laporte playing it square into Garcia, up towards the halfway line. 0-0 on TalkSport between League 2 Cheltenham, currently 7th after the day's results in League 2, and Manchester City, who, with their game, if they won their game in hand, would be top of the Premier League. Here is Jesus down the left. He forages, runs into traffic, turns back, and midway inside the Cheltenham half, it comes to Fernandinho. A low ball out towards the left, and now Jesus cutting in, right-footed, sends a ball curling towards the penalty spot, headed away by Tozer, picked up on halfway by Garcia, then on to the right from Doyle, and then picked up by Mahrez, who skips past Freestone into the area. Doyle tries the low cross into the box, and it's blocked and sent behind and away for a Manchester City corner.
Yeah, good play. I think that's the first time Mahrez has tried to take Freestone down the outside. Kind of surprised him as well. First touch with his right foot, second touch with his left foot down the wing and cut inside. It was a good play from Mahrez and good defending in the end to get it out for a corner.
I think this is the third corner of the game. Here is the outswinger towards the edge of the 6-yard box, headed away by Raglan, almost came through to Fernandinho, couldn't control. Tozer was out to clear it, and it's cleared out over on the far side, and it's 0-0 at the break. 8 shots for Manchester City, 5 on target, but none have breached the goalkeeper. Cheltenham have ground out a few draws lately, but there's draws, and then there's draws, and this is a draw. If they manage this, they will be more than happy. 73 places separate these two in the football ladder, but there's nothing between them at the break. It's 0-0, Faye, but there has been fireworks. The wonderful Rebecca Lowe, who is now presenting NBC's coverage of the Premier League in the United States of America.
Soccer.
She is married to Paul Buckle, used to be the Cheltenham Town manager back in the day. Wow. They're good friends with the director Charles Jennings of this club. He owns 25% of it, and he lives in the Cayman Islands. And the Cayman Islands is free of COVID. Wow. So he's in a bar, taking it over today and throwing a party for 100 friends watching this game in the Cayman Islands. It's -1 here at Wadham Road. I'm sure he's having a great time in his Speedos.
We're not envious at all.
Yeah.
We are here because we want to be here.
If you're listening, Charles, we're quite happy to come out and do this tie next year off tube from said bar. We're more than happy to do that.
Cayman Islands.
The Cayman Islands, not bad. Right, we're underway in the second half. But, I mean, it just shows, this is the biggest game in their history, isn't it? No wonder he's having a party today. 134 years. Manchester City coming to town is certainly the biggest day that Cheltenham Town have ever had. I mean, it would have sold its 7,000 capacity twice over if we had been in normal times. They've had big ties before. I think John Palmer, the local reporter on the paper here, I spoke to him in midweek, and he was telling me about stories of Alan Shearer coming here with Newcastle, Everton visiting before, and going to Tottenham a few years back. But he did insist to me, this is the one, this is the biggest fixture they've ever had. So I'm sure that we would have had a huge crowd had they been allowed to. No changes at half-time for either of the two teams. Manchester City in black with coral trim, attacking the goal in the second half to our right, going up the hill at Cheltenham. And Cheltenham in red shirts with white sleeves and white shorts, attacking the goal away to our left. And Ben Tozer, who was excellent in the first half, sends it forward, draws a foul from Ferran Torres. It's going to be a free kick just short of the halfway line. 1 minute played. You're listening to TalkSport. Cheltenham Town of League 2 0, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, and Alan Shearer's here tonight as well, so I'm sure he'll be pleased to know about that as well. Yeah, listen, I think more of the same from Cheltenham Town. You know, they've conducted themselves really well. There's no shrinking violet. Everyone's trying to get on the ball when they get chance, and I think they've handled the occasion really well, playing against one of the best teams in the world.
Griffiths just short of the halfway line. The goalkeeper's come out to take this free kick, launched it into Boyle, who's flicked it on but can't get any direction on the header and just sort of looped it behind in the end, and it goes out perpendicular to the 6-yard box, and it's away for a goal kick. Goal kicks are taken in a funny way now, aren't they?
Yeah, I mean, just play. Let's just play.
The ball's just been put down on the edge of the 6-yard box, and Garcia basically dribbled the ball out of the box.
Nonchalantly passed it to Garcia.
I'm not even sure that Stefan touched that. He just dribbled the ball out.
Ooh,
that's a late challenge from Raglan, who's gone through the back of Gabriel Jesus, midway inside the Cheltenham half, and a yellow card is going to come out from Stuart Atwell. And Charlie Raglan, who was a little bit late there, former FC United of Manchester player.
Yeah, he's a mankini. There's no need for that. You know, I don't think the game's been played in that way, the spirit of the game, and that was reckless. And fortunately, you know, he's a bit streetwise, Jesus, and he's able to get himself out of the way of that, because if that would have made contact properly, he could have been in a bad way.
It's a difficult season, Gabriel Jesus. 23 goals last campaign, 4 goals in 15 appearances this campaign for Gabriel Jesus. They really do need him to up his output with Aguero out again. Here's the free kick. Foden standing over it. So is Tommy Doyle. It's Foden who strikes it into the penalty area, aiming towards Laporte, over the head of Harwood Bellis, and floats through the box and then dribbles towards the corner flag. It's out for a throw in the left full-back position for Cheltenham Town. Cheltenham Town 0, Manchester City 0. Talk Sport, one of 8 live FA Cup commentaries that we're bringing you over this weekend. 10 live commentaries from the Premier League this week across Talk Sport, Talk Sport 2, and the Talk Sport app, which you can get from the Google Play or the Apple Store. And after us tonight, 7:30, you'll be able to have your say on all the day's football news. 08717 223344 with Faye Carruthers and Gabby Agbonlahor. The ball is with Alfie May, nudging it back on halfway to Raglan, who sends it quickly forward, and before Azaz can get there, it's away by Mendy, who rides one challenge, and then further down the left to Foden, who gallops into the Cheltenham half. He's on the apex of the penalty area and then sets it back for Fernandinho, who's 25 yards from goal, floats it out wide to the right. Ferran Torres takes it on, comes in on his left foot, tries to strike left-footed, balloons the ball behind into the Hazelwood stand away to our right-hand side, and it's rather harmless for Josh Griffiths in the goal away to our right.
Yeah, better play from Manchester City. They probed down the left-hand side. It got a little bit tight and compact, so it recycled. It came out into Fernandinho. He's played the ball wide to Torres, who's coming on his first touch, so on his left side, and it was a great opportunity to just put a ball into an area of his left foot. He's probably about 35 yards out on the angle, and he's gone for the shot, and I think just decisions like that are poor, you know, for me in that final third. And you have to ask yourself, is that why he's not in the starting lineup? Because if he makes better decisions in that final third, I'm sure he'll find himself getting more game time in the Premier League.
Alfie May has just tried to volley the ball from 40 yards out over the head of Zach Stefan. It's gone over, not only over his head, but it's gone over the speedy skip stand away to our left.
I think it's gone over the forest.
Yeah, it's into the park, I think. But it's still Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0.
Does that count as a shot off target?
It definitely counts as a shot off target, yeah. It was nowhere near the target. But now Manchester City haven't conceded a goal in 410 minutes, Trevor. They are difficult to score against. Very good defensively. A foul by Freestone has given a free kick to Tommy Doyle on this near side. A whack into the advertising boards as they attempted to clear that, Cheltenham, and the free kick has been given just right on the touchline on this near side. Stuart Atwell comes across, uses his vanishing spray. Foden says, I'll take charge of that, although Doyle fancies his chances too. And both Foden and Doyle have worked under Steve Cooper, who could be the manager they come up against in the next round, should they get through this tie. Swansea awake for the winners. It's still 0-0. Here's the free kick, wide on the right. Doyle floats it into the penalty. Oh, it's a lovely delivery, which hits the head of Gabriel Jesus and then goes out of play. It wouldn't have counted anyway because the offside flag was up on this near side. Yeah,
great high line, I have to say, from the Cheltenham Town defence there. They were right across the 18-yard box, really strict and disciplined with that line until the ball was struck, and obviously Manchester City players just edged into an offside position. Again, great defending from Cheltenham Town there. Great ball in there, I have to say. It was a really good area and a good whip and trajectory on the ball.
Well, Manchester City have won their last 7 FA Cup ties against lower league opposition, and they like a cup, don't they? They've won the League Cup and 5 times since 2014. Azaz is just asking for a free kick after a foul by Fernandinho. He did roll around a little bit, then when he realised that he wasn't going to get that free kick, very quickly sprung back to his feet, and Manchester City play on up to the halfway line via Laporte into Foden. Foden cuts through the centre and then runs into a bit of traffic, lays it off to Garcia. He plays it wide On the right touchline is Ferran Torres. His final ball again, not great. Cleared away by Tozer, and it's up over the halfway line. Maida so much chasing down. Doesn't give the centre-backs a minute's peace, does he? He's constantly pressurising. He has to get through a lot of work on his own as well, because pretty much it's a 5-4-1 formation from Cheltenham Town, who are attacking the goal away to our left. Josh Griffiths is their goalkeeper. It's a back five of Blair, Raglan, Tozer, Boyle and Freestone. Then Thomas and Clements in midfield with Azaz in the number 10 position. Lloyd is playing on the sort of left-hand side, trying to get up with Alfie May whenever he's in the attack. I'll go through the Manchester City lineup in just a second. They're in black shirts and attacking the goal away to our right. Stefan is the goalkeeper. Harwood, Bellis, Garcia, Laporte and Mendy the back four. Strong midfield of Foden, Fernandinho and Doyle. And then Mahrez and Torres supporting Jesus in attack. They've won the ball on the far side, Cheltenham, after Mendy was dispossessed. It's forward by Connor Thomas up into the centre circle. He wants a foul, Alfie May, after a collision with Garcia. Atwell says play on, and then Foden, lovely ball into Jesus, in behind the defence, up against the goalkeeper, right-footed, hits the outside of the post and goes behind and away for a goal kick, and it's a big let off for Cheltenham, and Jesus has missed a really good chance. A brilliant ball down the left channel by Foden, timed perfectly. Running onto it was Jesus. He was in behind the Cheltenham defence. He was faced up with the goalkeeper. He sent the ball towards the far post and it kissed the woodwork and went behind for a goal kick.
Yeah, excellent play from Phil Foden. I was just thinking, looking at Phil Foden, I remember a couple of years ago when Phil Foden was getting his only experiences in the first team in games like this, and just look how much he's come on. Got the ball there, full of confidence, took it, didn't take too many touches. His release was perfect, put Jesus free on goal, one-on-one with Griffiths. He's done everything right. The keeper's come out to try and close the angle. He's kept it low and he just hit the outside of the post. Really unlucky, but again, a player of Jesus' quality. Number 9 for Manchester City, number 9 for Brazil. He should be finishing that. That should be 1-0 to Manchester City.
It isn't. It's still 0-0. You're listening to Talk Sport, live from Wadham Road, the Johnny Rock Stadium in Cheltenham, as the ball is played forward by Mendy, up to Mahrez, dispossessed in midfield by Clements. Lovely little turn by Azaz to take him away from Fernandinho. Pokes the ball out towards the right with the outside of his right boot. I mean, it was beautiful the way, balletic the way he did it, really. It was unfortunate it didn't quite come off and the final ball was cut out by Laporte. But the way he went away from Fernandinho, weaved away from Fernandinho, was pretty impressive from Azaz, who's on loan from West Bromwich Albion. Ball slid forward by Lloyd, out to towards Alfie May. Lloyd's got a good story, isn't he? He's a nightmare to play against because he's an absolute worker and he's got a huge amount of strength, probably more than he should do, because he's a gymnast. Yeah. And his brother's a twin. He's got a twin brother who was also a gymnast, and he's now a professional wrestler.
Wow. To have that kind of strength as a footballer is always advantageous because you can recover from situations.
Here is Lloyd, deep inside his own territory. Jesus trying to win the ball. A lovely little touch by Thomas. Good. The referee got in the way, and he has to stop the game there because he stopped the ball from running through to Azaz. So there has to go back now to Cheltenham Town, and Stuart Atwell, who got into a little bit of a contretemps with Connor Thomas, is explaining that. Laws that changed in June, so it will be an uncontested drop ball for Cheltenham Town. Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0. Why on earth are we getting these matches like we had yesterday involving Chorley Town and Wolverhampton Wanderers that aren't resulting in massive thrashings?
I think it's probably the quality of the team that they're up against. I think the setup. I think that the amount of TV now and the amount you can watch teams and do your kind of preparation properly, you know where the strengths are, and possibly the Premier League teams not playing their full sides.
But this is a very experienced Manchester City team. You would expect this group of players to be able to easily emerge from a game against a team from League 2, wouldn't you? You would, but again, the surface, it's not a leveler. Here's Boyle down the left. He tries to dig out a cross. It takes a deflection off Howard Bellis and goes out for another corner to Cheltenham. The weather is not a leveler. All the things that that can usually contribute to a Premier League team having an off day. It's not here. The pitch is great. The weather's superb. And and it's a weakened Manchester City team. I know they've made 10 changes. These 10 changes, or most of them, players are not used to playing in the first team, so they're not match sharp. Here is the corner, whipped in towards the far post. It's over the head of Stefan and aimed towards Boyle, and rising to head it away was the £65 million centre-back in this weakened team, Aymeric Laporte. Good shout. It's going to be a free kick on the edge of the 6-yard box.
And I think credit to Cheltenham as well, they're having a right go. I don't see players hiding from the ball.
Is it better coaching from the lower league bosses, some of the lower league bosses? Do they deserve credit for? I mean, Duff, for example, and yesterday with Vermiglio, are they better now at that level? We used to complain a lot that there wasn't enough coaches in the UK that had UEFA licences. Now we've sort of changed that, haven't we?
Well, we're trying to, and I think there is more coaches that are qualified and try and coach the right way. We're going away from the manager that screams and shouts and throws the teapot up against and effing and jeffing. We've gone away from that now. It's about education. It's about helping young players develop, and mentoring them and getting them to try and, reach their potential wherever that may be.
Oh, we've got some great stories this week. We might have another one on our hands, Neil, here, because it's Cheltenham 0, Manchester City 0 on TalkSport. And Lloyd has got the ball for Cheltenham in the final third, trying to send it down to Azaz. Not the right choice, and it's cut out and sent away by Garcia, but it's straight out of play. It's not going to be another long throw, is it? No, I think it might have come off Azaz last, and it's out for a throw-in.
I think it was the right ball. I think Azaz didn't want to run into that channel. I think he wants everything to think, where sometimes you have to run into space and utilise the space that the team's left for you.
Manchester City have won this competition 6 times, only twice in the last 11 years. Ball is sent down the left, it comes off Harwood Bellis, and then it's cleared away by Manchester City, and it's out for a throw into Cheltenham. They've turned it over, and now they do get an opportunity to send that long throw into the penalty area. Away to our left-hand side, Tozer comes across, he wipes a towel on the ball, he dries it down, he takes a couple of steps back from the touchline, and he runs diagonally at the touchline on this near side, and he'll torpedo this ball into the near post. It's long and flat, and it's right under the goalkeeper. There's a little flick on, and then it's hammered in. It's hammered in for Cheltenham, who take the lead through Alfie May inside the 6-yard box, and Cheltenham Town of League 2 lead Manchester City by a goal to 0. Manchester City have won this cup 6 times, but they are being rocked by the Robins. It's Cheltenham Town 1, Manchester City 0.
Well, we expected that kind of throw-in to be coming in. It's a great execution from Ben Tozer. He's put it into an area. The defenders from Cheltenham Town were up there. They've made it really uncomfortable and impossible for the defenders from Manchester City to clear that. It's bounced, and Fox in the box. Alfie May's first to react, and he strikes it into the roof of the net, and that is what he's all about. Picking up little pieces, finishing them off. Listen, game on now. Manchester City have got all to do to get back into this game.
Well, Manchester City haven't conceded a goal in 419 minutes until little Alfie May came in at the far post after a long throw was flicked on by Cheltenham Town, and he makes it Cheltenham Town of League 2 1, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, and they've put themselves in a really good position, because this has not been all Manchester City. Cheltenham Town have had many occasions where they've got the ball into that final third, they've won throw-ins, they've got corners, and they've asked questions from this Manchester City side, and up until then they've dealt with it, and they'd also created chances, Manchester City. Now they've got themselves in the lead. They can get that 5-4-1, be really strict, really compact, and make this a very difficult game to get back into for Manchester City.
Hold the back page.
100%.
The FA Cup once again is weaving its famous magic, and Cheltenham Town of League 2, who haven't won any of their last 7 league games, they haven't won since December the 5th in League 2, are leading Manchester City of the Premier League by a goal to 0. And Alfie May, who has history with this competition, 3 goals in the FA Cup this season, 2 against South Shields, 1 against Mansfield, 1 scored 4 for Donny in a game against Chorley in the FA Cup, is making history once more. On the hour mark, he scored the opener, his 8th goal of the season. It doesn't come much bigger than that. Yeah, top goal scorer at the football club, and he's got 4 assists as well, so he's obviously a danger in that final third. Listen, the defence knew they couldn't handle it. We asked the question before the game, will they be able to handle Tozer's throws into that 6-yard box? Stefan didn't want to know. It's too low, the trajectory of the throw-in's too low. He can't get involved, so it's down to Eric Garcia and Laporte. Can you deal with it? They couldn't. Wow. What a moment in FA Cup history for Alfie May, for Cheltenham Town, their supporters, and for Manchester City. They need a pep talk. They need a little bit more than that. I mean, you look at the bench, and
the riches on the benches are ridiculous. So you would imagine if the pattern of the game continues, there's going to be changes.
Wow.
Excuse me.
What a story. 28 minutes to go. You're listening to Talk Sport. And Cheltenham Town lead Manchester City by a 1-0. This would be the biggest shock that Manchester City had suffered since Sheikh Mansour had come in to the team. I mean,
definitely
they've had their problems before in this competition. They've had their time in League One back in the day, but in recent times, since they've become a superpower, they haven't really suffered shocks like this, and Cheltenham are hoping to pull one off, a big one. Here the ball is deep inside the Manchester City territory. Tommy Doyle across to Phil Foden. Remember, they have got Riyad Mahrez and Laporte, who between them cost £125 million on the pitch, Manchester City, and that doesn't even include the likes of Benjamin Mendy, who cost probably about half of that himself as well. Ferran Torres, there's over £200 million worth of talent, if not more, on show. Here's Torres trying to get hold of the ball inside the box. What a tackle that is from Toza to stop him from doing so, and it's worked out towards this near side, and Azaz has got it, sends it down the left. It's a little bit late from Lloyd on Harwood Bellis. The referee says play on, that's fine, and it goes out for a throw-in on this near side. Fernandinho complaining to Stuart Atwell. The referee says play on. Cheltenham Town 1, Manchester City 0. Do not adjust your radio. Do not flick left on your app. This is the scoreline. It's true.
I was just looking at the situation that just occurred with the ball being played by Mahrez into Torres. He could have played it on the outside. It's a much simpler ball, but Mahrez, as he is, he complicates situations sometimes unnecessarily. He's come inside to then play with the outside of his right foot, and the ball's too heavy. It's a simple chance where Torres should be afforded a goal-scoring opportunity, and in the end, Tozan's been able to get across and make the block. It's just complicating situations you don't need to. If they play the ball simply, they're going to create opportunities. I'm just looking on the bench as well, and Ruben Diaz, he's got his top off, he's ready to come on. Yeah.
A change for Manchester City in the offing, and I take it the reason they're bringing Diaz on is just to deal with those long throws if they get them. They need someone with aerial power and someone to take command of it, and they didn't in that particular junction, and that's why they lead by 1-0. Fernandinho robbed by Alfie May, on by Azazo, it's behind Lloyd, and now picked up by Torres on the halfway line. Manchester City only have 25 minutes to sort out this rather embarrassing situation where they're trailing to League 2 Cheltenham. What great work Michael Duff has done with this team. Here's Ferran Torres, right side, tries to send it towards the edge of the box. It's blocked by Lewis Freestone, and it's out of play on this near side. And worth pointing out again that two of the best players for Cheltenham over the course of the season are not available to Michael Duff today. Ferran Torres back to the halfway line. Manchester City trailing by 1-0 away at Cheltenham. Rodolfo Borrell, the assistant manager, just giving the fourth official the details of the Manchester City substitutions as Torres gets a little handoff from Freestone. Is a bit dramatic.
Yeah, he's not covered himself in glory tonight for me. He's not done enough on the ball. He doesn't look like he fancies it for me. You look at his performance, this is a great opportunity for him back in the side, and he's not really give Pep any reason to want to put him into the side in Premier League games because he's not brought enough to the table.
Well, Gundogan is about to come on as well as Ruben Diaz, so it's a double change for Pep Guardiola, who can make 5 changes at 3 different substitute intervals, as we were told at half-time by the PA announcer here.
I won't be surprised if half this side is changed because, to be blunt, it's not been good enough.
It looks like Tommy Doyle's coming off and Harwood Bellis coming off.
Yeah, but that's understandable. 2 young players in this situation. It should have been a situation where the experienced players didn't put them in this uncomfortable situation. So I wouldn't blame them in any way, shape or form. I think especially Doyle, his delivery into the box has been outstanding.
1-0 to Cheltenham. Here is Laporte, 20 yards inside opposition territory, played square into Foden. Foden rides 2 challenges, then a third. Lloyd goes towards him, he skips away from him too, it's stuck to him like glue. Then a 4th, Freestone dives in, then a 5th, and he's still going into the box now, tries to pull the trigger, takes the deflection, it's cleared away. What a brilliant ghosting run by the weaving Phil Foden.
I mean, the skill level alone is superb, but the fact that he could stay on his feet, his agility and his core strength there, incredible dribble that from Phil Foden.
What a moment that was. The flick on by Raglan from the toes, the throw in, and then there was Alfie May to nudge it home in front of the goalkeeper Stefan. And it is Cheltenham who lead by a goal to nil. Here are the changes then. Harwood Bellis coming off and Ruben Diaz coming on. It'll be interesting to see how they reshape that back line as a result of that. Gundogan coming on for Tommy Doyle. 5 goals in his last 8 games for Ilkay Gundogan, who needs to inject a little bit of that goal-scoring power. And Manchester City do have a free kick to be taken on this near side, which Foden's going to take. Sean Long is about to come on, the joker in the pack, according to Ben Tozer, who told our programme prior to kick-off, didn't
Irish
he?
boy.
He's coming on to replace Lloyd, so an extra bit of steel in that middle area. And Lloyd comes off.
Something just happened now when Ruben Diaz was about to come on. I'm not sure if substitution is going to be allowed or not before the free kick, but he took his undergarment off. For me, that means he understands the seriousness of this situation, and he understands he's going to have a blow to make a difference. And he took his skin off, his long sleeve skin under his Ruben Diaz, and it was just quite. It's nothing, but I think it means something.
Symbolic.
He's ready for action.
He's a very good communicator, Ruben Diaz. I spoke to him a few times. He often comes out and fronts up for Manchester City when results aren't great. They've been great recently, and this is the team that have won the last 9 matches. But they're not winning this one. They're trailing by a goal to nil. The first goal they've conceded in 419 minutes. Here is the free kick, though, taken by Gundogan, right side, floated towards the far post, and it comes almost through to Diaz, whose first touch was almost to put the ball into the Robin's net. He just missed it. It just skipped off the turf in front of him and goes behind and away for a goal kick. Yeah,
I think, in all honesty, the ball was probably a little bit too big. It was the right kind of line in which it wired in. It was just a little bit too heavy, and neither Ruben Diaz or Laporte could get anything on it.
Well, last year Manchester City were beaten in the semi-final of this competition by Arsenal in a sit-soak strike trap set by Mikel Arteta. This year, a team in red-bodied jerseys with white sleeves are ahead against them. But it's not going to be a similar philosophy that beats them. It's a very different weapon that has unsettled that Manchester City backline, and that weapon is out again because just 10 yards inside the City half they've got another throw in, and Tozer's going to take this one too. I don't know how far he's going to get this time. He approaches the pitch, throws it in down the left towards Boyle. Boyle heads it into the air, but he was only about a yard off the floor when he did so. It then kicked against Chris Clements and sent behind and away for a goal kick. So he very much just had a great chance for Riyad Mahrez, played through the back line into the edge of the penalty area, steamed forward, shot straight at Griffiths. What a save, Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah, brilliant save. It was a great vision, I've got to say, by Foden. He seems like the one Manchester City player that's getting this game by the scruff of the neck and saying, I'm going to do something about it. He gets the ball, takes a few touches, and then plays a really good through ball to Mahrez, who takes it with the outside of his foot brilliantly, ends up in a one-on-one situation, ends up going for power. Little dink or a little slot down the side probably would have been the right choice. It's a good save in the end by Griffiths, but again, Foden's been outstanding this second half.
Well, Cheltenham have only ever got to the 4th round twice before. Michael Duff was in the team against Burnley in 2002 when they beat the Clarets and then lost to West Brom in the 5th round. Their only foray that far. They're about to do it for only the second time in their history, unless Manchester City can peg them back in the final 20 minutes. They've taken off George Lloyd, who had a left thigh injury, to be replaced by Sean Long. That's the only substitution they've made so far. They don't have the full complement on the bench. They've only got Danny Bowery and Andy Williams and Alex Adai as senior players on the bench. Callum Ebanks, youngster, on there as well, and 2 goalkeepers.
Never seen that before, 2 goalkeepers on the bench.
Have you not?
No.
I've seen it in the Champions League quite a bit.
Yeah, but I mean, at this level,
I think they're just trying to fill the bench with a full complement, as many as they can get.
How outstanding this performance is up till now and taking the lead. Absolutely brilliant effort from the Cheltenham town.
Here is Garcia back to Diaz. Garcia's gone out to right back since Harwood Bellis came off the field of play. Diaz to Laporte, then back again to Diaz, and then back to Garcia, who moves forward over the halfway line. He's got support from Ferran Torres on the near touchline. 27 gone second half, and Manchester City sliding out of the FA Cup as a snowstorm hits Manchester and the Midlands today. It's not made its way this far yet, but certainly they are skating on thin ice.
Yeah, and just little mistakes here and there. Laporte there, just looking at the pitch. The ball just bobbled before he played it out to Foden on the left-hand side, and he's looking at the pitch. Listen, get control of the football and move it. Diaz, he's looked class since he's come on. His first touch is accurate. He knows what he's doing with the ball, and he executes it.
The FA Cup always gives us a storyline. It's going to give us a big one if it stays like this. The holders out today to Southampton, live on TalkSport a little bit earlier on. West Ham through. Barnsley through at the expense of Norwich earlier in the day. And now Manchester City about to slide out of the competition unless they can find at least a goal. Because it's 1-0 to Cheltenham. Alfie May's goal separating the two. Here's Laporte inside the area, comes off the back of his shoulder and goes behind and away for another corner with a deflection.
Yeah, Laporte, it's a fantastic ball in again from Foden. Outswinger, and he's probably 5 yards out. He's just got to get a good contact, and it hits his back, and in the end it goes wide. That's a really big chance that Laporte should be putting away. Mahrez
with the corner from the near side to take it into the near post. It comes to Torres, who strikes it, doesn't get full clearance on it, and it's ended up being helped away up over the halfway line. May is chasing. Stefan's come a very long way and manages to clear upfield. Forward away by Raglan. And up to the halfway line. Mahrez picks it up and sends it forward, looking for the run of Jesus. Headed down and away by Raglan once again. Connor Thomas sees it back into midfield. Clements across to Tozer. And now Freestone moves up towards the halfway line. He chips it, but it took a deflection. It's a Cheltenham Town throw.
Yeah, they've got it all to do, Manchester City, to get themselves back in this game. I think the longer it goes, the more confidence this Cheltenham Town team will have that they can get over the line and win this game and get through to the next round.
This is a team that spent most of its existence in the non-league until Steve Cotterill took over in the late 90s. They've probably overachieved ever since. They've stuck around in the lower divisions of English football. They've had one season out of league football before coming straight back again. Michael Duff has given this team renewed confidence that they might well get promotion to League One this season after finishing fourth last campaign. But this will do wonders for Cheltenham Town. There's still a lot of young supporters that don't walk around in Cheltenham Town kits. If they are football fans, they're very much associated with other Premier League teams or look towards Bristol, but Cheltenham want to establish a legacy. They're fighting with Gloucester Rugby and the race course in terms of support, but certainly this is a moment in their history that no one will forget should they carry it through. 15 minutes only left here at Johnny Rock Stadium, Whaddon Road. Cheltenham 1, Manchester City 0. The ball on the halfway line with Manchester City in possession. Fernandinho, the captain, takes 2 steps over the halfway line. Into Mahrez, back into Fernandinho again. And he's surrounded by red jerseys. Back to Garcia. What a shock is unfolding on TalkSport. With 8 live commentaries from the FA Cup this weekend, we knew we would get one massive moment. I think we may well have just seen it. Here is Fernandinho out towards the left-hand side. It's aimed towards Jesus, but it's good defending again. Yeah. And picked up by Griffiths in front of his goal away to our right. Yeah, good movement as well, and they've been a little bit more patient with the ball there, probing down the right-hand side, coming back in. It's a decent ball in towards Jesus, and great defending by the number 5 for Cheltenham. Yeah. Raglan.
Yeah.
Mendy about to come off and be replaced by João Cancelo, who's been very good in recent weeks. May foraging down in the left wing-back position, puts pressure on Diaz, wins the free kick for Manchester City. Here's that change, Mendy going off and Cancelo going on. Someone needs to tell Benjamin Mendy. Eventually he's been shepherded off the pitch on the far side, and Cancelo is coming on. Pep Guardiola said he hoped that the injuries that he had to Walker and De Bruyne weren't serious, but with Kevin De Bruyne missing a few weeks, Sergio Aguero out with COVID-19, Walker out with a few issues as well, it's going to be a tricky couple of weeks for him, especially if they don't come back from this situation.
It is, yeah, and this will dent the confidence a little bit if this result stays as it is. They've been playing so well, and to get that momentum And then that's the responsibility. The new players coming in, they've got a responsibility to make sure they protect that. And for me, they've not been good enough. You know, you're looking at players that have been brought off. Mendy, I'm looking at Torres. You know, Ferran Torres. He's not been good enough. Jesus doesn't look like he's brought enough to the table. So none of these players can complain when the next league game starts and none of them are involved.
77 on the clock. The ball is with Fernandinho coming forward for Manchester City. Cancelo out wide to the right, and to Mahrez on to Garcia, who's on the overlap, produces a cross. It goes through the 6-yard box, nowhere near anyone in black. It scoots through the area over on the other side. It's retrieved and sent back into Laporte, flicks it into the area, Raglan away. Thomas pokes it forward. It's picked up by Laporte and sent back to Fernandinho. Tries a reverse pass into Foden, cut out by Clemens. There's a clattering on the edge of the area, but still Manchester City come. They go down the right, Garcia onto Mahrez, who cuts in left-footed, then on to Cancelo, right-footed clip cross towards the far post, headed by Foden, looping it goalwards, but it's too heavy and it's over the top and it's behind and away for a goal kick, and it remains Cheltenham 1, Manchester City 0.
Yeah, good play by Manchester City, probing down the left-hand side, recycling the ball, coming down the right, little bit of interplay there, good cross, and it's a decent contact. He's got there first, the ball was just a little bit too high for Foden and he headed it over. But again, you look at that back three and the talking, the movement, every time the ball goes back, they're squeezing up together. This is excellent defending from Cheltenham.
Well, it'll be fascinating to see what happens over the next few minutes, whether Manchester City can conjure up a response and get themselves back on the front foot and cause some problems. I think they've run out of ideas a couple of times, haven't they? You know, they really...
Stuart Atwell did well there to get out of the way. The free kick was taken so quickly, he had to do a little scissor kick to get out of the way. Looks like he's quite familiar with the can-can.
A bit of orchestration going on from up here in the director's box, communication down to the Cheltenham bench, and one of the backroom members of staff has just come out of his seat in the director's box and gone down to the front of the tier here to have a word with the bench and get a message to them as Mahrez comes forward down the right onto Cancelo. Cancelo cuts in left foot, then tries to bend one towards the far corner, but it's nowhere near the goal.
Yeah.
And they're reduced to taking shots from range now. 10 minutes to go. Talk Sport.
Yeah, on his weaker side as well, on his left-hand side from about 25, 28 yards.
This shouldn't be happening, should it?
No, he's got to be more patient than that. He's just been brought into the game, you know, coming off the bench. Sometimes you want to affect the game and you just get a little bit excited. I think that was that occasion. Just got to be patient, keep probing away. There's still 10 minutes plus time added on. Azaz
has just gone down, holding the back of his right leg. There's going to be a change. Alfie May is about to come off and be replaced by Andy Williams in the next few minutes. An experienced player, Andy Williams. He's got 6 goals himself this season, promoted with Northampton. In fact, we commentated on him on TalkSport at the Wembley earlier in the year. It was last year, wasn't it? I'm losing my calendar.
It all blends into one, don't worry.
It really does, mate. It really does.
I remember that though with Keith Curl.
With Keith Curl, yeah. Again, they used some weapons as well, didn't they? They've just come over for a drink, the Cheltenham Town boys. They've come over towards this near side and taken on a bit of water after Azaz got some treatment. Williams is just swigging a bottle before actually coming on, not for Alfie May at all, but I think he's going to come on for
Azaz. He's struggling
instead. Yeah, they've just changed it last minute. Not surprised by that.
I think you look at him and maybe that's one area where you can say Azaz, if he wants to improve his game, just try and get that physicality so you can make them runs into the channels and just, it's too easy to defend otherwise if you're getting everything to feet. Sometimes you just got to spin off in behind. You need that added fitness to be able to do that.
Ball launched forward by Manchester City. Ferran Torres has picked it up left side and it's into Cancelo, whose cross is deep towards Foden, far post, volleys it into the back of the net. They look for the offside flag. It's not forthcoming. The Cheltenham players protest. The Manchester City players celebrate. Phil Foden has dragged them back into the game. 1-1 with 9 minutes to go, and he spares Pep Guardiola's blushes.
Yeah, he's been the man. I've got to say, you know, for his young age, he looks like the player that wants to get this game and get it going and get Manchester City back into it. It's a great ball in by Cancelo. Just gets it onto his right foot, just eases it into an area. Foden beats the offside, and it's a simple side foot finish, and keeper can't do anything about that. But he has been the player for me. You know, his dribble, he runs, his shots, in getting in, he's putting himself on the line to try and get Manchester City back into this game, and I think it's just rewards for the young man.
Definitely onside, according to our in-studio producer Clint Emmons, who's just buzzed through to tell us that. He's seen a replay of it. We don't have the luxury of that here.
Not quite.
In Modern Road. we haven't got any desks. We're all set up on suitcases. So TV screens would be a luxury. They do have a throw-in away to our left-hand side here, though, at Cheltenham Town, and the towel is out. The long ball is out. Manchester City's substitutes are causing problems down in front of us. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's Rodrigo, actually.
So not Pep?
Rodri, who's down there.
Looks like Pep is...
Pep's out there as well, saying that the throw-in should have been taken from further back. They're obviously concerned about it. Rodri and Pep having a word with Bentosa, who's about to launch this one in again. It's 1-1 at 38 minutes into the second half. Launching towards the near post. Headed away. And it goes out towards the far side, and eventually it's cleared before it can go out for a corner, and Cancelo, who delivered that ball expertly for Foden, sends it back up towards the halfway line. Headed on by Williams, who's now on as a substitute for Cheltenham Town. It remains 1-1, and Manchester City, who were behind here until the 82nd minute of the game, have dragged themselves back into the match, and at the moment it's going to be extra time, Trevor.
Yep, it looks like it. I mean, listen, that's a superb effort anyway in itself by Cheltenham Town. It's just a shame they couldn't have defended that right out, but a bit of quality, and that's what we expect from this team. You know, the amount of money that it's taken to get this team together, the quality of player that Manchester City have got, they should be producing that kind of quality. So I think it reflects how poorly Manchester City have played in the whole, but also how well Cheltenham Town have played.
Yep. Cheltenham 1, Manchester City 1. City looking for a winner now with Cancelo down the right side, hits it against the body of Clements, and Fernandinho sends it past Stuart Atwell, who does another little gallop over the ball.
Oh, great agility. Very evasive.
Stop getting in the way of it, I think probably is more the note to be taken from that. Back in by Fernandinho into the area, and Jesus is onside. He turns and thrashes it home, and is that the goal that sends Manchester City into the 5th round after being behind for so long? Manchester City have turned the game on its head. There's another suspicion of offside. Bentosa runs over towards the near touchline, and Barracks, the assistant, gets a yellow card for his process as well. Stuart Atwell not happy about that, but Manchester City very much happy about the fact that in the blink of an eye it's gone from 1-0 down to 2-1 up, and Manchester City could be continuing in the Cup. I've
got to be honest with you, the first thought when that ball went into Jesus, he looked 2 or 3 yards wrong side of the defence. I thought he must have been offside. I don't know if he's timed his run perfectly as the ball comes into the box. If he has, fair play, but on first look, for me, we've not got the privilege of having a look at it again. Looks like it possibly could be offside, but I'm being told he was about level.
Yeah.
Great finish as well, yeah.
Jesus gets his 5th goal of the season. It does stand, and Manchester City have come from behind to lead at Wadham Road by 2-1, and they've crushed the dreams of Cheltenham Town with a late flurry and a bit of skill. Again, it's come down this right side. Since Cancelo's come on, they've had a bit more about them down that right side.
I mean, he's been brilliant in the Premier League. It doesn't surprise me. That's the form that we've been seeing from Cancelo, and that's why when you look at Kyle Walker not playing for Manchester City, he's not been missed that much because Cancelo's come into that position and done such a sterling job.
Manchester City clear the ball out on the near touchline. It goes out for a throw level with the edge of the penalty area. You know what that means, because Cheltenham are winding up for another equaliser. There's 4 minutes left to play. Can they drag themselves level after going in front, then being pegged back by Phil Foden, and then finding themselves behind very, very quickly? An opportunity for Toza to toss this into the box. Almost everyone in red inside the 18-yard area, away to our left. It's in towards the near post. It's not a great throw. It's headed away by Cancelo and straight out for a corner kick on this near side, the 5th of the game for Cheltenham Town.
Got to defend it properly. I mean, the throwing before, I was impressed because Mahrez attacked it, and that's what you need. You need everyone helping out, especially in these set-piece situations. Here's the corner to be taken by Connor Thomas on the near side. It's Blair, actually, right-footed, sends it back towards the far post. Boyle went up with a header. It comes back out towards Williams, who strikes it over the top of the crossbar as he was leaning back about 8 yards outside the goal at a 45-degree angle. He volleyed the ball over the top of the crossbar, and it goes out for a goal kick away to our left. Cheltenham 1, Manchester City 2. Yeah, first contact Laporte, second contact again Jesus. You've got a task to do in there. You've got a job to do in there. Make sure that second contact doesn't go to your man. It goes to his man, and if he hits that better, that could have ended up in the back of the Manchester City net.
Well, he hasn't really done enough, has he, Jesus? It's in both boxes, really, despite the goal.
It's an easy one, Sam. It's one of them. As soon as Aguero's fit, you are out of the team, and don't even come knocking on my door because you've not been good enough. I mean, you're making it easy for the manager to drop you. You want to see him running about. Look at Phil Foden. He's younger than him. He's got on the ball. He's dribbling at times, taking responsibility on the ball, creating opportunities. He's getting his goal. But he's done a lot more than that, Phil Foden, out of possession as well. You need to see that from Aziz. We've been waiting for a long time for this, and it just doesn't seem to be happening.
Well, Manchester City have survived a major scare here. They're about to go through to the 5th round of the competition and play Swansea City. But boy, Michael Duff and his Cheltenham team have made it incredibly difficult for them, and it might not be over yet. Williams plays it out to the left. Clements just runs off the turf in front of him, and it goes out of play and away for a throw-in down in the right fullback position for Manchester City. Clements coming off, and Alex Adai coming on. And I was told that he is one of the fastest players in the EFL. He's been on loan at Maidenhead United recently. He was at Tottenham as a kid. Yeah. Cheltenham picked him up when he was working in a school in Peckham playing non-league.
South London boy.
Yeah.
Well, he's a strong athlete. I mean, listen, if he can affect this game, it'd be well received by these Cheltenham players at the moment because they look a little bit tired now.
90 seconds to go. They held out until the 82nd minute when the goal from Foden went in, and then they conceded just 2 minutes after that, and now it's 2-1, and now their dreams of going to the 5th round for only the second time in their history are going to be dashed. Ball is on the halfway line with Manchester City. It's picked up by Laporte, sent back into Diaz, and then back to Laporte far side, helped on to Foden. Foden up over the halfway line to Jesus, receives it again. Foden then sprays it out towards the right. Mahrez takes it on. He helps it to Cancelo. Cancelo gets towards the byline, then tucks it back once again. Picked up by Mahrez. Rolls his studs over the ball. Hesitates, plays it back into Gundogan. Gundogan all the way to Garcia, and then Garcia under pressure works it wide. Gundogan's got another opportunity to come forward. Great shape again from Cheltenham Town. Really good work. They just got back into position, blocked all the lanes, and forced Manchester City back into their own half. Trevor, I mean, Michael Duff will have to take great heart from this, and then they got Oldham on Tuesday night, and back to league football once again before playing against Forest Green in a massive derby next Saturday. They've got to. There's just got to be a massive boost. Their performance has to be seen as a massive boost.
Yeah, they've got to take so many positives from this game. You know, you're against some of the best players in Europe here, and you know, to be able to keep them at bay until the 86th minute, was it 84th minute?
82nd,
it's outstanding, and you know, to cause Manchester City problems going the other way, to have the fitness to be able to continue to compete with them, the shape, the organisation, the spirit. You know, it takes so much more than just a good performance. There's so much more involved, and they can't get confidence from this going into the rest of their League Two games and fixtures, especially starting with Oldham. Reset, go again, and show the quality that they've shown tonight. I'm sure they've got a great chance of going up.
Here comes Cancelo again down the right hand side, looking to exchange passes with Foden. It's sent out towards the right side, and then Freestone just stretching out manages to nudge it out of play. 4 minutes of added time at the end of the game on TalkSport, and Cheltenham's heart is broken.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with Phil Foden. You know, even in the first half when it wasn't going great, it was a little bit of a kind of a dull game when you think about it, which is credit to Cheltenham. He was always looking for the ball, getting on it, trying to create things, and the second half, it's one of the best performances from a young player I've seen in this type of game.
But he's taken responsibility, hasn't he? The ball was back to Garcia there, and Adai, showing his pace, really put Garcia under pressure. A ball that he shouldn't have any right to challenge for.
No.
Burned up the turf and closed him down. It was cleared away eventually by Zach Stefan away to our left hand side. We're into the second of 4 added minutes at the end of the game. Manchester City have conceded for the first time in 6 matches. Trailed here for a good 20 minutes. A good 20 minutes they were behind, and Pep Guardiola was fretting. He had to make changes. He had to spice up his lineup to get over the line. Manchester City have just about done that. under real pressure from a League Two side who have caused them grief. Here is Foden on the far side. Back infield it goes, picked up by Diaz, and then on to Foden via Gundogan. Foden switches the play elegantly to Mahrez inside the box, goes on the outside, stops the ball, gets to the byline. Freestone sticking with him, wrestling him away from the penalty area. He's trying all the tricks, Mahrez, to keep hold of the ball, but can't find anyone in particular. Jesus receives it, tries a little Cruyff turn, bumps into Tozer, who's just been announced as the sponsor's man of the match, and now the ball has been sent forward by May, and Williams is charging through the middle, and Zach Stefan has to come out and clear long and up the field away to our left-hand side, where Ferran Torres is chasing the ball, which is always going to go out of play.
Yeah, I think from a defensive point of view, I think Manchester City have been okay. You know, obviously they got done on the goal. It's very difficult to defend against that throw-in, against a very physical, tall team who know what they're doing, know what kind of movement they're trying to set off, and it's really difficult to defend, especially the first ball. They didn't defend the first ball particularly well. They didn't defend the second ball because that was Alfie May getting the finish. But I think offensively you've got to look at the players that have been brought in, and for me, Torres, Jesus, they've just not been good enough. And you look at them forward players, and one of the players that stands out straight away is Phil Foden. He's the youngest, but they need to take a leaf out of his book for the way that he's put himself about, he's run, he's sacrificed out of possession to try and affect the game. I think he's been exceptional, really do.
I'll get you all the post-match reaction in the phone-in straight after the game. 08717 223344 is the number to call as Gundogan is played in down the right channel. A ball in towards the near post, and there to finish it off is Ferran Torres to make it 3-1 in front of the goalkeeper. A tap in after Gundogan had ghosted down the right channel, pulled it back from the byline, and then Torres was there to tuck it home. He hasn't had the greatest of days, Ferran Torres, but he has scored the clinching goal that guarantees a place in round 5 for Pep Guardiola, whose team have come from behind to beat Cheltenham by 3-1.
Yeah, again, Phil Foden involved. It's a fantastic ball, straight ball. Gundogan made that running behind, which you have to do if you want to upset any defence. You've got to try and move off the ball and into the spaces behind. It's a good ball. He gets into the byline, Gundogan pulls the ball back just slightly behind Griffith, the goalkeeper, and running onto it to finish first time is Torres. And really, that's one of the first positive contributions that he's brought to this Manchester City side in the whole 90 minutes.
There's the full-time whistle. Manchester City leave it late, but come up the hill to nick it on the line at Cheltenham. They may have conjured a sprint finish and ended up winning by 2 clear goals, but boy did they get one hell of a scare from the team ranked 73 places lower than them in the football pyramid. League 2 Cheltenham did themselves no harm at all with a wonderful display for 82 minutes, and it took that long for Manchester City to find the net. They came from 1-0 down after Alfie May had put them in front from a Ben Tozer long throw, and Manchester City eventually, after making several changes in the second half, managed to turn the game on its head. But boy were they quaking in their boots at one point. Cheltenham Town beaten, Manchester City through to take on Swansea. They've won away at Wadham Road by 3-1.